All right, Yankees fans, we need to dive into some really concerning news that's coming out of the organization as we approach the 2026 season. If you've been following the Yankees closely, you know that the pitching staff has been under intense scrutiny, especially after what we witnessed in the postseason. One name that has dominated discussions is Carlos Rodon, who was expected to be a key piece in the rotation but ended up struggling far beyond what anyone could have imagined. The situation is more serious than initially reported, and there's a lot to unpack regarding how this injury was handled and what it could mean for the team moving forward. Carlos Rodon underwent surgery to address an issue with his shoulder, something that was supposed to allow him to come back stronger and fully prepared for the following season. However, new reports have surfaced indicating that the injury was much more severe than anyone had realized at the time. By the time the playoffs rolled around, he couldn't even fully straighten his arm, which is an alarming revelation for any team relying on him as a frontline starter. The concern isn't just about the injury itself, but about the management of it, because forcing a player to perform when he is not physically ready can have long-term consequences, not only for the athlete, but for the team's overall performance. During the postseason, the numbers were stark. Rodon pitched 8 innings, giving up 9 earned runs on 10 hits with 5 walks, and striking out 8 batters. That translates into an earned run average that no team expects from one of its top pitchers in such critical games. For the Yankees, this was particularly painful because having a dominant pitcher on the mound is essential in high-stakes situations, and Rodon was not able to deliver. Fans and analysts alike are pointing fingers at the coaching staff, particularly at Aaron Boone and the Yankees medical team, questioning why a player in that much pain was allowed to take the mound at all. It raises broader questions about how the team approaches injuries, especially when it comes to protecting key pitchers for future seasons. This issue is not isolated to Rodon. The team has had similar concerns with other pitchers, and there's an increasing sense that the organization may be mishandling the delicate balance between competitiveness and player health. Reports now indicate that Rodon's return is not expected until late April or sometime in May, with other critical pitchers like Gerrit Cole targeted for a May to June return. Anthony Volpe is also out for the start of the season. This creates immediate challenges for the Yankees as they consider the opening day rotation and how to navigate the early months of the season without several of their top arms. The projected rotation might include Max Fried as the number 1 starter, followed by Cam Schlittler, Will Warren, and Ryan Yarbrough, with a 5th starter still needing to be determined. Depth and flexibility in the rotation will be crucial, especially given the uncertainties surrounding the health of key pitchers. The search for that 5th starter has already become a major talking point. Names like Tatsuya Amaya, a 27-year-old Japanese right-hander, and Michael King have emerged as potential targets for free agency, with the Yankees looking to secure someone who can provide stability and reliability while their other pitchers return from injury. There is an understanding that without addressing this hole, the rotation could be at risk of underperforming early in the season, which would have ripple effects on the team's overall performance and playoff aspirations. Fans are understandably concerned because depth in the rotation has historically been a critical component for teams that aim to compete at the highest level over a long season. When we analyze the situation further, it becomes clear that the Yankees are dealing with a combination of unfortunate injuries and questionable management decisions. Rodon had an impressive regular season, winning 18 games and showing consistency over the past couple of years. Yet, the transition into the postseason exposed his physical limitations, and the timing of the injury management leave a lot of questions unanswered. The core issue revolves around whether the team prioritized short-term competitiveness over long-term health, a decision that could have lasting repercussions not only for Rodon's career, but for the Yankees' chances in 2026. The broader rotation, when healthy, remains one of the most formidable in the league. Max Fried has shown potential as a strong number 1, while Cam Schlittler has been developing impressively with new pitches that enhance his effectiveness. Gerrit Cole, when fully healthy, is among the top pitchers in Major League Baseball, capable of dominating any lineup. Carlos Rodon's regular season performance demonstrates his capability, and other pitchers like Will Warren, Luis Gil, and Clark Schmidt add layers of potential depth that can make this rotation truly terrifying for opposing teams. However, the reality of injuries and recovery timelines complicates this picture. Early season matchups might not reflect the true strength of this rotation, leaving fans and analysts to brace for a rocky start while hoping for full health to return as the season progresses. Looking at Ryan Yarbrough, who is projected as the fourth starter, there's a question of whether he should even occupy that spot in the rotation long-term. While he has potential, the current situation suggests he may be more suitable as a fifth starter or even as a reliever option until other pitchers return to full strength. This highlights the complexity of roster management in a season where injuries have already impacted key arms. Teams like the Yankees cannot afford to have gaps in their rotation without having competent alternatives ready to step in. That necessity drives the urgency behind securing a fifth starter in the offseason. From a strategic standpoint, it is clear that the Yankees management needs to balance the short-term pressure of winning games with the long-term vision of maintaining a healthy and effective rotation. Players returning from major injuries, such as Rodon and Cole, will need time and careful monitoring to ensure they reach full effectiveness. Without such measures, there is a risk that the rotation will underperform just when the team needs it most. This is a challenge not unique to the Yankees, but amplified due to the high expectations surrounding the franchise, the intense scrutiny from fans and media, and the stakes involved in competing in the American League East. The situation also raises questions about the organization's broader approach to injury management. If the team is willing to let players pitch through significant injuries, it could be a short-term strategy that backfires over time. History has shown that pushing pitchers before they are fully recovered can result in long-term setbacks, potentially affecting careers and team performance. In contrast, teams that take a more conservative approach, prioritizing recovery and strategic utilization, often find more consistent success over multiple seasons. For the Yankees, learning from a mishandling of Rodon's situation could be a turning point in how they approach similar scenarios in the future. There is also the human element to consider. Players want to compete, and the pressure to perform can lead them to ignore physical limitations. Rodon, like many athletes, undoubtedly wanted to contribute during the postseason and showcase his skills. Yet, the decision to allow him to pitch despite significant pain may have compromised both his performance and the team's success. This is a delicate balance between supporting players' competitive drive and making strategic decisions that protect them and the organization in the long run. The Yankees' search for depth in the rotation extends beyond immediate injuries. Even if Rodon, Cole, and Schmidt return fully healthy, having additional arms capable of stepping into starting roles is crucial. Free agency and the offseason become key opportunities for the team to shore up these areas, ensuring that the rotation can withstand the inevitable injuries and challenges that come with a long Major League Baseball season. Targeting players like Tatsuya Amaya or Michael King reflects a proactive approach to building sustainable depth while mitigating risk. Looking at the big picture, the 2026 season is shaping up to be one of high stakes for the Yankees. Expectations remain sky high given the talent on the roster, but early season injuries and the need to integrate additional starting pitchers could create turbulence before the rotation reaches its full potential. Fans are watching closely, scrutinizing every move, and the team's response to these challenges will be critical in determining whether they can maintain their status as contenders in the American League. The balance between health, strategy, and performance will define not just the early months, but potentially the entire trajectory of the season. The situation with Carlos Rodon and the rotation as a whole serves as a stark reminder that even the most talented teams are vulnerable when injuries strike. For a franchise like the Yankees, managing these challenges effectively is not just about winning games, but sustaining competitiveness over multiple seasons. The decisions made in the offseason regarding free agency, recovery timelines, and rotation depth will resonate far beyond the opening days of the 2026 season, making this a pivotal moment for the organization. This first part of the discussion sets the stage for an in-depth look at the Yankees' pitching staff, highlighting the stakes, the challenges, and the strategic choices that will define the upcoming season. With injuries affecting key players and the need for a reliable fifth starter, the team faces decisions that could shape their competitive prospect for months to come. Fans are rightfully concerned, and the narrative surrounding the Yankees' approach to health and depth in the rotation will be one to follow closely as the offseason progresses. As we continue breaking down the Yankees' pitching situation heading into the 2026 season, it becomes evident that depth, strategy, and careful management will be more important than ever. The offseason is not just a time for signings and trades. It is a critical period where the team must evaluate the health of its current roster and make proactive decisions to protect the longevity and effectiveness of its pitching staff. Carlos Rodon's shoulder injury serves as a cautionary tale, emphasizing that rushing players back into high-pressure situations can have far-reaching consequences. Teams cannot simply rely on the talent present on the roster without considering the physical limits of their players, particularly pitchers who are highly susceptible to overuse and injuries that can linger into future seasons. The early season rotation will likely be unconventional, with Max Fried expected to anchor as the #1 starter, Cam Schlittler positioned behind him, followed by Will Warren and Ryan Yarbrough. The fifth starter role remains a significant question mark, and this gap must be addressed with precision. The Yankees cannot afford to have this slot filled by a pitcher who is merely serviceable. It must be someone capable of providing innings and stability while also maintaining the competitive balance of the rotation. With Rodon, Cole, and Schmidt unavailable for much of April, this creates a window of vulnerability for the team, and any missteps could translate into early losses that impact their positioning in the American League East. Securing a dependable fifth starter in the offseason is not just about filling a roster spot. It's about ensuring the rotation can sustain performance under pressure. Players like Tatsuya Amaya and Michael King have emerged as viable options, and pursuing them reflects a strategy focused on both immediate impact and long-term security. The Yankees need to consider not just the individual skills of these pitchers, but also their ability to adapt to Major League Baseball's grueling schedule and handle the pressure of pitching in a high-stakes environment. Integrating a new arm into the rotation requires careful planning, from conditioning programs to pitch management, to avoid repeating the mistakes seen with Rodon's shoulder. Looking deeper at the roster, there's a blend of proven talent and emerging potential that could define the success of the Yankees' rotation in 2026. Max Fried has demonstrated the ability to be a reliable ace, capable of carrying the rotation when healthy. Cam Schlittler has shown significant growth and versatility, and Will Warren adds a dependable presence in the early slots of the rotation. Ryan Yarbrough, while not projected as a dominant starter, provides necessary depth, and the potential acquisition of a fifth starter could give the Yankees the flexibility to manage innings and reduce risk for their top pitchers. The balance of talent and strategic utilization will be key to navigating the first half of the season. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. The latest whispers from the baseball world have set the city abuzz as tensions flare between two of the sport's most storied rivals. Sources close to the Red Sox locker room reveal that their manager has recently engaged in a series of pointed comments aimed squarely at the Yankees, fueling speculation that the rivalry is about to reach a new level of intensity. While his words have been delivered with a mix of humor and bravado, the undertone is unmistakable. The Red Sox are not planning to take a back seat in the upcoming season. Insiders suggest that these provocations are not merely for the media spotlight, but are part of a broader strategy to psych out a team that has long been a thorn in Boston's side. The manager, known for his sharp wit and tactical mind, reportedly met with reporters after practice and didn't shy away from jabs, hinting that his roster has been quietly strengthened and is ready to challenge the Yankees in ways that fans may not yet realize. Meanwhile, the Yankees clubhouse is said to be reacting with a mixture of amusement and caution. Though no official statement has been released, sources indicate that players and coaches are taking the remarks seriously, acknowledging the psychological games that are often waged off the field as much as on it. Rumors swirl about potential trades and roster shifts for both sides, with analysts speculating that the next season could see a reshaping of power in the league if these teams maintain their current trajectories. Social media is alive with debates, memes, and heated discussions, as fans on both sides of the rivalry dissect every word, gesture, and rumored move. Some insiders even suggest that the manager's comments are a deliberate test, designed to gauge how the Yankees might respond under pressure and to plant seeds of doubt in their minds before the season even begins. One thing is clear: the off-season chatter has already set the stage for an electrifying campaign. With provocation and strategy now entwined, the upcoming season promises more than just games. It's shaping up to be a psychological duel, with each team maneuvering for supremacy before the first pitch is even thrown. Baseball enthusiasts are watching closely, knowing that the next chapter of this historic rivalry could be defined as much by clever mind games as by home runs and strikeouts. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.